over the place.
Something we went right by didn't even take it.
Let's get together. We just found out.
How long can you
Is that a vernal pool, Donald? Is that a vernal pool?
We come back up Senate Road.
Senate?
Yeah. We're going to come around. When we come back, we're going to go around on the other side, and there are herons that live in the trees over there in the middle of the bog. We'll look at those when we get back. Yeah. Okay. Oh, bullfrog. You hear it? Did you hear the bullfrog?
So I guess this is called and that fire does. Yeah. What's that? Yeah. Or like a runoff.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, my one and only granddaughter.
Oh,
She's so special.
Did you really?
That's a great find.
I don't know. Daddy, I'm making pictures of everything.
Oh, really? I wasn't familiar with it.
I don't know. I'm not either. That's why I was thinking maybe I don't see very often.
Yeah. And when we find a fur here, when we find a fur, you'll see a fur needle won't roll between your fingers because it's flat. And the hemlock's going to be flat. The tree over there doesn't have shields on it, and the pitch will boil out, catch fire, and she's going to go boom. So but the red pine does have fire resistance, and that's a nice feature of it. A lot of your power poles, telephone poles, are made of red pine. And it happens that I used to work for the company that owns this for a number of years, and on this lot, in wood just like these, we sold those to a Canadian company, and they made power poles out of them. And at that time, all those poles were then sent over to Iran, which was more friendly than it is now to us. But they were export poles, and they went a long ways away. But you can see how they were. And we took them on trucks. They were up to 60 feet long, so we had to have special loaders to put them on, and they were, they were harder to handle and so forth. But they're much more valuable if they're a pole. If they're really rough, like some of the ones we see over here, then they don't make a telephone pole. But they're a good to go through.
And why do they want white pine?
It's more valuable,
Okay.
and it's the preferred lumber for making cabinet making, woods. It's really, you can do about anything with white pine. It's a good softwood. When it dries, it doesn't warp or bend as much and so forth, that type of thing. So it's a good product. The most valuable ones, as far as the trees go out, they're all valuable, but some are more valuable than others. And the most valuable ones in this area are in the softwoods would be the pines, and in the hardwoods would probably be the oak or sugar maple. And manage just like a garden to grow the better trees. On your biblical note here, this is all God's creation, and it's pretty nice. It's something that we have to enjoy, but we also have to take care of. That's our responsibility. That's the stewardship part. And so when the land is well managed like this and taken care of, we like it. Now, it's a small thing, but that trash out there at the where we park the bus really makes me mad. Someone's not taking care of the land as they should. That's not a good thing. So if you go around in here, you'll see that it's pretty nice what's been made for us, and we have to take care of it.
Red pine in there. See the difference in the bark? And see the needles? This white pine and red pine right side by side.
Yeah,
See
wow.
how long the needles are on the red pine compared to the
Riley loves being in the woods.
Oh yeah, they make it.
Too. We have climbing rocks and neighborhoods.
Don't let the size worry you. They can be the same size, but see how the sugar maple has no teeth along the edge, and the red maple does here? That's a big difference. You can get syrup from both sugar maple and red maple, or sugar maple is preferred, but you can get syrup from them, you can tap them. And the sugar maple wood is much harder than the red maple. So sugar maple is sometimes called hard maple, red maple is called soft maple. This one's called moose wood. Moose like to eat the buds. It's still a maple, and see that big leaf? The big leaf is very typical of these. This example, you see these growing where there's more opening and they've got a lot of green on them in the bark. This one has actually been chewed on by probably a moose or a deer. You can see where that new growth has been chewed. So they're a good food for wildlife. They'll get about this big, 6 or 8 inches in diameter, some of them, and then they'll die. They don't make it to big trees like the other ones we see around.
One thing I want to point out, just to show you the way land changes and streams change over a period of years. The Ellis River is running right beside of us now. And up above here, before we get down to the Ellis River, where the road ends right there, I looked at over the other day, and probably a few thousand years ago, the Ellis River ran down along the base of this hill. And the reason that occurs is a big tree will drop into the river, fill up with debris behind it, and the water has to go somewhere. It makes a nature's dam, so the water will take another course. And it's very visible up here when we get to the river.
Well, no, both legs, and then he won't bite the other.
Also need water in some form. We can take it in the form of Pepsi-Cola or plain water or milk or whatever. But most of your wildlife likes the water and comes to the water. And obviously, we know that there are plenty of animals in the water, namely fish, the ones that interest most of us. Pretty soon there'll be at least one child in the water, maybe 2. Everyone needs water, and animals need water, so animals come to it so they can trap and hunt too near the water. A lot of times we're looking for tracks, and everyone can try. You just thought I brought my Walmart bag for no reason. My son's a trapper, so these are some things they use to lure animals, and they do work. And I've got 3 different tracks. One is a fox trap, which is the smaller one. We're going to try them right over here in a minute. This middle-sized one is a coyote trap. It's kind of pointed, but it's bigger. And then there's a roundish one, which is a bobcat trap.
Oh yeah. I have it up in back of my lawn, because down in back they made a beaver habitat. Yep. And I saw a great big old snapper on my back lawn the other day.
I saw one on the side of the road going to the pond.
There's a lot of big turtles up there.
Yeah. And they move. I didn't realize how fast they go.
We're beside of us as we walk down, and I'm very sure that how many years ago I couldn't tell, maybe thousands, the river ran straight. And due to blockage in the river with trees, it had to change its course, so it came over this way. Yeah, it's very visible to me that the lay of the land. You noticed it. Yeah.
Look at that pine tree up at the top.
That's going to be like
It's not going to be long before there's going to be another dam there.
Right.
See that tree across, and a couple more of those big guys come down in there. They're going to.
Where do you think it's going to go?
It's going to go to the point of the channel of least resistance.
Yeah.
Yep.
Maybe over there.
So you wouldn't even be allowed to unblock the dam, like if you see it coming?
You're not supposed to disturb those things in the shoreline. They're the state regulators, if you will, with the Fish and Game people and so forth. They can give permits to do those, but what you have to do is prove that there's a hazard to wildlife or whatever. By the time you do, sometimes it's already happened. Work. Everyone's welcome.
So we could picnic down here if we wanted to bring families and such?
Yeah. Got his hands open, guys. In fact,
Learn all kinds of neat stuff. Yeah, I told the game warden when I asked him to come, I said, you don't need a vacation, you're outdoors all the time anyway.
because that's what they call indexing the deer's rear foot steps where its front foot was. So this is really 2 tracks here.
Yes.
Their front feet go, and then their back feet go. Get ready for the next deer. See, this is 2 tracks. One with the front foot, and the next one with the back foot, the step fish. Just so you can see what the fish are, and we don't know, at the time the Indians were here, there probably were salmon here too, because salmon were in the Androscoggin River.